And we are back. So, last we left off, the Fellowship had found themselves deep, deep in the earth beneath the Black Barrows. And you have finally stumbled upon the whereabouts of Emma, only to come face to face with some kind of ceremony taking place, some kind of ritual, led by, it appears to be a combination of Sir Michael Freeze and Gaston, as Gaston is chanting over Emma, hunched and breathing very heavily. He is, I forgot to mention, he's reading from, it looks like some kind of black book that is open before him. There is, of course, the contingent of Graveguard between you and them. The 4 vampiric knights upon the pedestal. And then the mysterious vampire lord sitting upon a throne. But those aren't of your immediate concern, as many crypt ghouls and 4 crypt horrors are charging at the party as it is right now. And I'm going to need initiative orders.
Oh, yeah. That's a 10.
Okay, 10 for Seamus.
Marius got an 11.
11 for Marius.
Damn it. Again?
And Braggadine?
12.
Braggadine, Marius, Seamus, once again.
Damn it. Sure.
Alright, make sure this is penciled in. Alright, Braggadine, you are first up. The ghouls and crypt horrors are closing the distance as fast as they can. Your party is still going to be about at least well over 200 feet from the nearest combatant. What are you doing in this moment, Braggadine?
One quick question.
Yes.
I think we already clarified this, but it is potion would be a free action.
Yes, you can take it as a free action.
Okay. How lit is it down here?
It is extremely well lit, surprisingly, by the blue balefire. There are several smaller little braziers along the sides of this this large corridor, and there are many stalagmites and stalactites that will provide breakups in the battlefield as it was. And then, of course, at the top of the raised kind of dais area where the altar is, and of course the throne, there are 2 very large braziers that are illuminating that area.
Okay. I will have my sword out. I will kiss the crosspiece, and I beseech thee, lady. And I will, not slowly, not at a run, but I will start to very confidently walk right in the middle, basically heading towards the altar where Emma is.
Okay. All right. Braggadine, you begin to walk forward. Are you issuing any commands to your men?
Ah, yes. Thank you for reminding me. You men, form up. Where's Seamus and Marius? Are they on either side of me? Are they?
They would be
to my right.
If you're walking forward, they are behind you in this moment.
Okay. I shout to my men-at-arms, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Form up on my flanks.
Give me a leadership roll, Braggadine.
Now is the time, men. Our Lord has been slain by these foul beasts. It is the time for you to step up to truly honor your benefactors, the family Bonneau. We will avenge my father, and we will find glory in the lady. Uh-oh, hold on.
Impossible. I don't feel inspired anymore.
It's a crit. I'm just trying to see if it is a positive or negative. Do I get any benefits with them being my boys?
It depends on how close you are. I'm not going to tell you what the modifier is.
Okay.
You just let me know how
I
bad
rolled a
this was.
77. I rolled a 77, and I needed a 70
Okay.
for leadership.
That is a critical success.
Ooh. I mean, heck yeah, monetized. Yeah.
Yeah. So, your 2 men at arms, Bragadine, after your glorious speech, emboldened by their leader, fearlessly walking out, they find the courage, and each of them have their halberd at the ready as they walk in lockstep next to you, Bragadine. As well, ironically, with a critical success, the remaining Grail pilgrims begin to walk in a loose line behind you as well.
Yes.
Slowly but surely coming in as well. And yeah, that's what you get. So that brings us to Marius Wolf.
I guess I'm kind of looking at the scene and seeing Bragadine just starts marching forward. Marius is impressed. He's likes what he sees. You said how far are the ghouls and horrors from us now? Are
They're going to be, they're a few hundred feet. This is basically preparation time, essentially.
Yeah. The grave guard, just one more time. Are they all around us right now? Or are they
No.
at the front of the
They're all
dais?
the way up towards at the dais. They're all standing in between you and the dais, but they're way towards the front in a small cluster.
Towards the front.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how many ghouls were there? No, there's 4 horrors.
You got 4 cryptors, and you do not know how many ghouls there are. They're kind of loping in and out of the shadows. If you want to make me a perception test.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception test.
That is going to be a 24 out of 57.
Okay. All right, with that many degrees of success, Marius, you count out at least 7 crypt ghouls.
Okay. Marius is going to move up as well. Start moving up as fast as he can, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to I'm going to get my last grenade ready. I'm going to pull it out of its satchel.
All right, you pull the grenade out of your satchel, Marius.
Mm-hmm. And I guess it's my turn. If I still got some time. I got some ways to go, I guess.
Yes. All right. So that's your preparation. Seamus McCready, what would you like to do as you are preparing, as you see the rest of your companions moving forward?
If possible, load the pistol I used to shoot the Vargle.
I will allow you to have already done that at this point.
Sweet. All right. Well, then I'll just keep those 4 holstered. Bring the Thunderer around for my shoulder. Check that. See if it's loaded. Notice that it is. So I think Marius loaded it.
It was actually already loaded.
Can I technically walk without the crutch?
You can at half speed.
All right, then I will awkwardly use the crutch to get me to just whatever, whenever stuff gets within firing range, and I'm just going to toss the crutch and start shooting with the Thunderer.
All right. You are preparing that. The creatures are lumbering towards you, and at this point, you notice that the vampire knights, Marius, you see them begin to look around, and the man on the throne looks to each side at the four of them and then gives a nod, and they quickly leap over the grave guard, clamber onto the floor, and begin moving in your direction as well. However, Seamus, the ghouls and horrors come into view first. I'm assuming you want to take a shot at a crypt horror.
Yep. Just as soon as one gets within the 100 feet, I'm just going to pop off.
As soon as it gets into that 100 feet, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
All right. Tossing the crutch to the side. We don't need that anymore.
And this is a large creature, so you get a plus 10 to hit, in addition to all your other stuff.
It's going to be a lot. It's a 15 with the plus 10. It's a 15 out of 81.
All right. How much damage?
65. 75. So that is 6 plus 10. So it is it's currently at 16. And then the Thunderer has the accurate and the impactful.
Yes. So that's an additional 6. So that is, what is that? 16 plus 6. 21 points of damage.
All right.
As you level the Thunderer and take aim at the incoming crypt horror lumbering over its smaller brethren, and you boom, an explosion rings out, a brief flash of gunfire, and you take the forward horror in the left shoulder as it loses, it stumbles a little bit, and you see a mangled left arm that just looks broken and tattered, and it continues to run forward with the arm dragging behind it, almost touching the floor as the muscle and sinew is detached, but it appears to feel no pain and still moving.
All right. If I haven't used my movement yet, I'll just keep moving forward. Eventually, my goal is to get into range of Gaston.
Yes, of course. As you continue to move forward, it is now going to be your turn again. Well, not your turn again yet. It is the party's turn. So we're starting with Bragadine, because you guys rolled higher in initiative order. You're going to reach the ghouls before they have a chance to charge you. You can choose to defend, or you can choose to countercharge. What is your choice, Bragadine, since you are leading the initiative order?
Did the Vampire Knights jump over? So they're actually in front now?
No, they jumped over. They jumped over just the grave guard. They landed onto the cavern floor. They are behind all of the ghouls and horrors.
All right, I clumsily reach into my pouch.
Okay.
This is free action here.
All right.
I grab the round vial that has the sign of the lady on the stopper.
Mm-hmm.
I pop that and I chug it real quick.
All right.
Don't know what it is. I'm just taking a gamble. It's going to help me out.
It is.
And with me, men, for the king and Bretonia. And charge.
And you're going to countercharge. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you leading the charge, or are you kind of nudging the men forward?
No. No.
Okay. All right.
I'm charging.
All right, Bragadine, as you feel the liquid touch your lips, first off, you regain your toughness bonus and wounds.
Oh, sweet.
In addition to that, Bragadine, you feel emboldened, almost on the verge of heroism, and you feel no fear in this moment. You are devoid of fear, and you will be devoid of fear for the next 5 hours.
Oh, awesome.
You do not have to make any cool tests to avoid the fear effect. As you charge for which you were about to make a cool test, charging one of the cryptors, but you don't have to now. So you managed to countercharge this thing. Now I will say, Bragadine, it's big. If you miss with this attack roll, it is going to run over the top of you. Just FYI. So go ahead and make your attack. You get a plus 10 for charging.
Okay. Still got 2 fortune points.
All right. Go ahead and make your attack roll. You have a minus 20, but a plus 10, so a minus 10, I guess, for the first roll.
Okay. All right. We're going to use one of those fortune points.
Do it. Just do it.
Fuck. Yeah. 27 out of 47.
All right, 27. Okay, good.
So 2 levels of success.
2 levels of success. How much damage is that, Bragadine?
Let's be 2, 7, 11.
11 wounds. And this is the lead horror that Seamus heavily wounded as it comes lumbering in. It has still in its other hand, it has one of these large bone clubs I described previously, and it looks like it is matted, and some of the blood on it looks fresh. As it raises the club high, as you're charging, you charge past it as it swings high above you, and you drag the sword along its arm and opening up the rotten flesh beneath as you pass by the creature. Let me roll for them. And your emboldened men-at-arms, I will remind you, they will do better if you give them direction with an action. However, they spit the Crip Horror on their halberds behind you.
Yes.
And they dig it down deep, used to cavalry charges, and the creature digs in, and the tips of the poleaxes break through the ribs and into the body itself as they slough it to the side, and it is not moving.
Yes.
And that is it for your turn, Bragadine. So that brings us to Marius Wolf. Are you going to countercharge or defend?
Question. I'm assuming, where's Sir Tristan in all this?
Sir Tristan is behind you. He's moving up with you.
Okay. Bragadine and his men-at-arms and the pilgrims, are they all like engaged right now?
They're slightly ahead of you, and yes, they are all engaged, and it looks like the pilgrims are engaging with ghouls themselves, as one of the large horrors has already been felled within the first round. There are 3 left. It looks like there are 2 charging at you, Marius. That's weird how that happened. Maybe you incurred dark favor at some point. I don't know how that happened.
Yep. But everyone's so jumbled together, if I threw a grenade, it probably would be bad, right?
It depends on if you wanted to throw it past, you could probably aim it in such a way that it would hit maybe some of the ones that are charging from this side of the cavern. It's a very spread out fight thus far.
Okay. I guess if I try to throw it, I would want like the biggest cluster of people, but I guess far enough away where I wasn't gonna try to blow up.
That
guys.
is
Does that make sense?
perfectly fine. Go ahead and roll me your attack roll first.
Okay. That's a 32 out of 33.
Ooh, lucky. All right, you begin to lob it. Go ahead and roll me a d4. Please roll a 1. Please roll a 1.
Please don't.
Sorry, I'm getting my dice. All right, D4. I don't know if it's gonna be good. 3.
A 3. Okay. Maris, you chuck it out, and it smacks off of the head of one of the crypt ghouls as it kind of stumbles away, and it falls at its feet, and it like dumbly looks at it for about half a second, and then it explodes, dealing massive damage. Let me roll. Okay. It completely incinerates most of the crypt ghouls on this side of the battlefield. They just completely cease to exist. The crypt horrors, however, take significant damage. But they're still standing as they stumble away, smoking ruins of their flesh. But they are still up, Marius. No longer charging, however. And that is going to be the end of your turn, which brings us to Seamus McCready, who's a little bit behind the rest of you.
So I need to make a reload check.
Are you going to reload the Thunderer?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me a ballistics roll with all your modifiers and everything.
4 success levels, I believe.
Yes, that's what you need.
Yeah, that's a 6 out of a ballistic skill of 51.
Okay. Plus your black powder, so it's actually way more than that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 71 then.
Yeah. So with that, with more than 6 levels of success, if you get more than 6 or a crit, I will allow you to quickly reload, and you can fire in the same turn.
All right. Judging by what Marius just did, I assume Bragadine is in more of a dire situation.
He has charged past, and he looks like he's probably going to be engaging the nearest vampire next. But there is a crypt ghoul lumbering off, or crypt horror lumbering off the side that is apparently undamaged. One of them is dead, and 2 are heavily wounded near Marius. The decision is yours, Seamus.
I'll go for the crypt ghoul that was undamaged by Bragadine.
Okay, yeah. The one of the crypt horrors. Excuse me, I'm getting my ghouls and horrors mixed up. But yes, go ahead and make me an attack roll.
All right, that is a 53 out of 81 out of 92.
Okay, what's the damage on that?
Bonus. All right, 53. That is going to be 13 plus impactful, so I believe that's 16.
16 wounds. Damn. Okay, you let off a explosion with the Thunderer. Takes the remaining cryptor that was unhindered square in the chest. A giant hole opens up as it lumbers backwards a few paces, preventing its charge. It is still very much standing despite the massive gaping hole, and you can actually see its still beating heart because it is technically not dead. And it is disgusting to witness, and it appears that it feels no pain. So I'm assuming that is the end of your turn now, Seamus?
That is it. Yep.
All right. At the end of your turn, Seamus, you see, because you're behind, you see a paladin of the lady, a Grail Knight, Sir Tristan de Vries, rush past Marius Wolf to the injured crypt horrors. Oh, yeah. And yes, okay. He easily cuts the head off of one of them that apparently is stunned in place, cleaving it from its body. And as he does, he lashes out at the other and chops through one of its arms, but it is still technically alive as it blood spurts from its wounded appendage, and it grasps itself on the ground, but it looks heavily damaged. And he runs forward even further. And yeah, the crypt horror takes a swipe at him and misses with its remaining arm. All right, and it is now their turn. It is now the ghouls and horrors' turn. So, Bragadine, since you led the charge, there are going to be at least 2 ghouls that are going to try to leap onto you. How would you like to defend yourself, Bragadine?
With my sword.
With your sword. Okay. Go ahead and defend yourself, please.
Ooh, that's a 21. Out of... Let me see, 1 momentum, so that would be... 47, I think it's 57.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So
Yeah.
you bring the sword up, and this ghoul pounces from a considerable distance from the darkness. But with your heightened senses, you're able to see it coming. And you bring the sword across and connect. And as it does, it latches on to the sword. And though it can't reach you with its outstretched claw, it's still latched onto you and pressing upon you. I need you to make me a strength check, Bragadine.
Okay. 35. So, out of 50.
Okay, you manage to sink your feet into the ground and hold. There's another ghoul attempting to launch itself, Bragadine. How would you like to defend yourself?
We're angry. We're fighting. Trying to get to Emma, so I'm going to try and defend with my sword.
Okay, all right. As you kind of press a little space away from the one that's latched onto you, go ahead and make me another defense.
Okay. It's a 40. I still have a negative 20, right?
Yes, but then you have all of your momentum now.
Okay. So that is 40 out of 57.
All right. You once again manage to bring your sword across, and this time connect with the butt of the weapon, and kind of smack it to the side. And as it does, it goes down low and stumbles and puts its weight into your lower extremities. I need you to make me a strength check at -10.
Gonna use my other fortune point.
All right.
Nope, that's a 13 out of 40.
Okay, you manage to dig your feet in some more as these 2 ghouls are latched onto you, and you still keep your footing and you're not brought to the ground. That is all that's happening to you right now, Bragadine. Seamus, you do see some ghouls beginning to circle around behind Bragadine, but it looks like several of the pilgrims intercept them and begin to engage them, distracting them, and most of them are being bludgeoned to death. And these pilgrims looked crazed as they're doing so, moving with a frenzy that you might recognize. But that brings us to Marius Wolf as the the one remaining crypt ghoul that Tristan left standing kind of slowly lumbers towards you. I need you to defend yourself, Marius.
Oh boy.
This is a large creature if you're using your pick.
What's the penalty for that again?
Minus 20 on your defense roll if you're using the pick. Yeah, dodge is no penalty.
Okay. I'm gonna use my pick. It's still technically. Let me see my dodge. It's still technically better.
All right.
Smidge. And I rolled a 10, which is a crit.
Roll me D100, Marius.
Sorry, bro.
It begins.
Hey.
It begins.
It's a 16.
16. Okay. You, as it lumbers in, ironically, it's the same arm, which is good. It lashes out with this one gigantic muscled appendage, and you see these nasty-looking blackened talons on the end of this hand slice out towards you, and as you do, you bring the pick up and catch the hand before it gets to you. And as it attempts to pull through, the muscle separates from the shoulder and it tears free. And the horror looks down at you, not realizing what happened, as it is missing both arms now, and then just kind of falls to its knees, and then falls face first into the dirt, dead.
I counted myself as having 2 success levels, or
Of course, it's fine.
The throw
it's fine.
and the.
It's fine.
Okay, just to make sure.
It's fine. It's fine. So, yes, it is firmly dead. The remaining crypt horror, the one that was kind of poised towards Bragadine, seeing the man kind of piled upon, looks over and charges Sir Tristan, swings and misses by a long shot as the club boom slams down into the floor of the cavern, splintering a stalagmite. Openly just shatters and bits of rock fly everywhere. And Sir Tristan nimbly dodges to the side. And that brings us... Yep, that brings us to the top of the round, because they can't quite get to you yet. You do see these vampiric knights quickly closing ground. So, Bragadine, it is your turn.
All right. Where...
Oh, wait, did I skip Seamus? No, I didn't. Continue, Bragadine.
Where are my... where the remaining men of arms and pilgrims are behind me?
They are currently behind you. They just felled a crypt horror. The pilgrims are even further back, and it looks like they are engaged with ghouls if you glance over your shoulder, though you don't have much room to glance as you are currently set upon by 2 of these foul creatures.
Okay. I am going to try to slay one of them.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Oh, hold on. Dice rolled off the table. Hold on. On the carpet. Give me a second. All right. Ooh, 20 out of 67. So,
all right.
4 levels of success.
All right, that connects Bragadine. How much damage is that?
4 plus 5, so it's 9. 4, 13.
Really? That is... I believe that's just enough. That is just enough, Bragadine, as you carve through the chest of one of these creatures. You lash out, ah! The nearest one sputters open, and as it does, its guts fall from its kind of rotten flesh as it stumbles backwards, bleeding profusely all over you. And then with a convulsion, it stops moving. The remaining ghoul... Oh, yes. Stands stalwart, trying to rip your face off, however. Would you like to attempt anything else, Bragadine?
I'm going to stand my ground to dispatch this other one.
All right. Right after you, one of your men-at-arms tries to swing without hitting you and swings wide as the ghoul ducks underneath. The second one, however, spits it through the side. As it lashes out. It's not dead, but heavily wounded as thick blood begins to pulse out of its taut rib cage. And that is that. Several of the other ghouls die viciously at the hands of the Grail Pilgrims. And that brings us to Marius Wolf.
All right. So the two horrors are slain.
Oh, yes, they are very much dead. There's still one does remain. It's lumbering. It tried to make a swipe at Sir Tristan, who is ahead of you, but missed.
Okay.
And technically, he's still engaged with it.
Just so I can get a lay of the bountiful, is Sir Tristan now ahead of Bragadine?
Yes, Sir Tristan is now ahead of Bragadine, as he was unhindered in his approach.
Okay. Can I reach that horror? Am I close enough?
Oh, yes, you can easily cover the distance.
Okay.
You're going to give me a charge?
Yeah, I will probably do as I run past. Well, how does Bragadine look?
Bragadine's off to your right. You see him push aside a crypt ghoul and cut one down. The other one is still harrying him, but it looks like his men-at-arms are also defending him.
Okay. I will. I guess I'm going to charge towards the horror, and as I pass, Bragadine, I'll probably shout out to him. Be careful, Bragadine! Who will command the men if you fall? And I will run past him and do a charge on the horror.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Did I get a plus 10 for the charge?
You do. You do get a plus 10 for this charge.
Okay. Might need it. It's 75 out of 100.
These things are not agile, so yes, you easily pierce into its back. How much damage is that?
That is, because of my is 18.
God bless.
Plus armor piercing.
Yes, I know, you dick. Got it. All right, as you and some blood kind of spurts out of its mouth and has these really elongated fangs as you pull the pick free. And I mean, this thing is like 10 feet tall as it begins to rise again. You see Marius. You see. Well, nope. It's actually Seamus's turn now. Seamus McCready. What would you like to do?
Reload first.
Okay, go ahead and give me that roll.
Do I add success levels to this, or is it just straight?
No, this is a check, so no momentum for this.
That's a 90 out of 71.
Okay. Unfortunately, Bragadine, you go to reload this time, and your hand slips a little bit. You have a bit of a tremor running down your right hand, and you notice that your fingers look skeletal and ethereal in nature. And it's just enough of a moment, a glimpse at what might be happening to you, that you lose concentration and you're unable to reload your weapon. You still have your free action and your movement.
And I'll move up to 10 feet. I assume the Vampire Knight's going to be within range if they're not already.
They're getting they're well within range of your firepower. Yes.
Yeah. I'll just move up my 10 feet because I don't have anything that would utilize a free action right now. So that will be it.
All right. You begin to move up. Are you shouldering the Thunderer, or are you keeping it at the ready?
Keeping it at the ready, because if it comes down to it, I'm probably going to try to block with it.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. That brings us to Marius, or not, that brings us to Sir Tristan, who runs nimbly ahead, Marius, seeing that you have things well in hand. And he charges one of the nearby vampire knights who is charging to meet the rest of the party. And he lashes out, but the undead creature is too quick and ducks beneath his sword and scampers behind him. And now he has to turn and face it lest be stabbed in the back. And that is his turn. Yep. And that brings us to the creatures that are left. The horror, Marius, you watch as some of its flesh begins to re-knit. And it recovers a little bit of his posture and is going to try to maim you, Marius.
Oh boy.
Please defend yourself.
Right. I rolled a 44 out of 81.
Roll me D100, Marius.
Alright, roll 19.
19. This one lashes out and you duck underneath and you bring the pick into its armpit and it goes deep inside and you feel just a rush of fetid blood spill out across the head of your pick as you pull through, and the creature stumbles for a moment and then falls dead with a thud. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? Bragadine, you are going to be attacked now. Please defend yourself.
All right. What's attacking me?
A crypt ghoul, sir. The last remaining crypt ghoul next to you.
Okay. Got a 39. 39 out of 87.
All right. It lashes towards you, and not only does it miss, but it also, as it lunges out of position. It stumbles a bit, and kind of you catch it on the guard of your sword, and it looks like it's not going to be able to take an action next round. Not that I think it's going to matter. And you easily defend yourself, Bragadine. However, Bragadine, one of the vampire knights is moving in your direction, and with unnatural speed charges towards you.
Damn it.
I need you to defend yourself one more time, Bragadine.
Okay. You can suck it, because I just got a 22, and I got
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 97. 22 out of 97.
Go
So
ahead.
come
You can
on.
suck it.
You can suck it. Go ahead and roll me a
stick it
D100.
All right. 96.
96. Let me make sure. Okay, roll me one more.
Okay. 73.
Ooh, good. Let's see here. Oh, damn. All right, let's see. Well, yeah, it easily passes that. But Bragadine, seeing this knight charge you, something about its unnatural speed. You've had experience fighting these creatures before. How much damage was that, Bragadine, by the way?
All right, let me see. So, 97. So that was 7. Plus 4, 11. 4, 11. 16.
16 wounds. You move down low, Bragadine, as the knight charges in. You can see its pale complexion, the unhealthy pallor, as it was, of this undead creature. And as it closes in, you can tell that its face, it looks like that of a nobleman. But one, judging from the facial hair, the grooming of the mustache, one that's been long dead for quite some time. And you duck down low, dodging a hefty blow, and you carve into its right thigh. And as you do, you scrape a piece of the plate off, as it sacrifices a piece of its armor to prevent your critical wound. But it still takes significant damage. Let's see here. Yeah. And nasty blood spills out across your sword. It has a foul stench to it. And there's a bit of heat radiating off of this creature now, as it appears to be going into a frenzy of sort, Bragadine, at the shedding of its own blood, as you have put it in a frenzied state. And had you not taken the blessing of the lady, you might have had to make a cool test, but you don't. All right, and that is its turn. Let's see for Sir Tristan. All right. And okay. The vampire that Sir Tristan is fighting tries to lash out towards him, and he parries the blow easily. A second comes from behind, and though it has unnatural steadiness, he deftly, Marius, without looking, parries aside a blade with a sweep of his own from behind, without even looking, just parries it aside, as the creature looks astonished at the block that he just made. And Marius, there's one last vampire skulking off to the right, and you see it. And you see it attempt to rush past you. You get a chance to stop it, Marius. It looks like it's making a rush towards Seamus McCready. But you get a chance, Marius, if you can land an attack.
To attack it? Okay. Alright. 41 out of 110.
How much damage is that, Marius?
Let me think here.
Well, hopefully it's enough to save my biscuit.
That will be 19 damage plus armor piercing.
God damn it. Okay. As you lash out with the pick, seeing the mortal peril that Seamus would be in, as you slash out with the pick one-handed, you catch the creature in its right arm and kind of spin it about, piercing into the to the plate mail, and it hisses and spins towards you. You can see that it has a long sword and a short sword in its hand, and it is not moving towards Seamus McCready now. It is going to attempt to kill you, Marius.
Oh, good.
So go ahead and defend yourself, sir.
Defend. Okay. 23 out of... Do I get a momentum for that reaction question?
Yes, I will allow that.
Okay, out of 23 out of 120.
Okay. Yes, you easily bat aside a haggard blow in its weakened state. Go ahead and defend yourself one more time.
Okay. 38 out of 120.
All right, how many? 40, 46. Yep, that is barely enough. Barely enough, Marius, as you bring the pick down, and it looks like he's looking to hamstring you, and you bring it low and bat aside a almost supernaturally strong blow, and you have defended yourself successfully. And that brings us to the top of the round with Bragadine Bonneau. However...
Oh, don't skip me, bro.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. Seamus, it is your turn.
Well, that was the does he go between the monsters?
No. You go after. That was just the monster's turn. I didn't skip you last time. You forgot to reload. Or you tried to reload and you didn't.
Oh, that was the monster's turn? Okay.
Yeah, this was the monster's turn.
Yeah, he's a monster's
Oh,
turn.
okay.
Yeah.
So now we're at the top of the round now with Bragadine the Bold.
All right, can you give me a quick
Recap? So
picture of
currently...
Yeah.
Yes. As you are in a heated battle, your men-at-arms are at your side. The Crypt Ghoul is still barely alive. It took a stab, a hacking from one of your men-at-arms. However, despite defending yourself, there is a vampire knight that charged in. And though you cleaved some armor from its leg, it hissed and is very, very pissed off and standing before you as well.
For the king, for Bretonia, for Bonneau's, and I attack.
Which one?
Oh, the vampire.
The vampire. Okay. Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
55 out of 97.
All right. What's the total damage? This will determine something.
Okay, so that's going to be 4 level success, 9 with my strength bonus, 13.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a D100.
Okay. And 6 is the maximum momentum, right?
Yeah, that's the maximum momentum you can have is 6.
Okay. All right, we rolled a 7.
All right. So you lash out towards this creature's head, and it appears to be slightly stunned from the wound you inflicted earlier. And as you lash out, you clip the side of the helm, and you carve through a piece of the helm, shedding some more of his armor. And though you gash into the undead flesh, it flinches backwards and is still standing, but looks haggard.
Good.
All right. And is that going to be your turn, Bragadine?
I can't really do this as an action, but I'm going to just shout out. We are doing it, men. We are holding the line and we're crushing these monsters.
All right, Braggadine. Yes, so one of your men-at-arms, the one that stabbed the ghoul, brings his halberd overhead and splits it in two. Just, and it falls to pieces beside you. The second, seeing you attack the knight successfully, lunges forward. And as he does, the vampire grabs a hold of his halberd and then just pulls him and chucks him to the side. He goes flying off into the distance without his weapon, rolling into the sand, or the dirt more like, as he chucks the weapon to the ground, and then turns to face you once again. And that is their turn. Let's see here. Yes. All right. All right. Yeah, that's all that you guys can see. So that brings me to Marius Wolf.
Did the pilgrims do anything?
The pilgrims did do some
that I can
things.
see?
You could see that they are still battling several ghouls, but it looks like they are winning decisively. Several of them are dead, and it looks like they are recovering themselves and moving towards new prey.
Okay. So I'm in front of this vampire, right?
You are. It looks grievously wounded.
Okay. I'm gonna attack. Roll the 41 out of 130.
That is, yep. You beat me by 2 success levels. Damn it.
Whew.
As you bring the pick overhead and just heft it with all your might downwards, you catch the right pauldron of the vampire as it can't quite dodge out of the way. And as you do, you sink in deep and you feel the pick twist into the corpse and pierce into what may have passed for its undead heart. As you see the vampire, and it goes limp and falls to the floor, apparently dead.
If he looks dead, I can't do like another finishing blow, can I? Like on his head.
As an action on your next turn, you can.
Okay. Well, I'm close. How far is Sir Tristan from me? Is he fighting 2 vampires?
He's fighting 2 vampires. He is probably within 20, 30 feet of you. So you could close the distance if you needed to.
Okay. I will do so. I'm gonna do so.
Okay.
Unless there's I can see a threat. Unless I can see a threat heading towards Seamus.
No, that was the one that was heading that you could see. You took care of easily.
Okay. Then I'm going to charge, or not charge, but move up to the.
All right, do you want to engage
Tristan.
one of them, or do you want to just hang back a little bit?
I want to be engaged in combat with it. Yeah.
All right, you move up
Put another
to aid
threat there.
Sir Tristan. All right. That is the end of your turn. That brings us to Seamus McCready. You're seeing many things happening quickly as you have moved up as much as you can. You are, of course, falling very far behind. What would you like to do, Seamus?
Reload this gun.
Okay, make me that roll.
I assume I lost my momentum since I didn't attack anything last time.
You lose 1 momentum. Just 1.
Okay. Oof. This is a 27 out of 71.
Is that 5 levels?
Passed. It's 4.
Okay,
It barely
4.
passes.
So you do manage to reload the weapon. However, you cannot shoot it in the same turn. You manage to steady yourself
All
and
right.
reload.
Gun is loaded. Yeah, if I haven't moved up, I'll keep moving up. But
All right.
that
Yeah, I'm
will
assuming that
be
you
it.
are just moving as you can. You stop for a moment to reload, moving forward. Seamus, as you move forward, you see Marius and Sir Tristan in a heated battle at this point. And Sir Tristan lashes out from side to side, and both of these vampires nimbly dodge away from what, to your eyes, seem like supernaturally lightning-quick blows, but they are apparently just as quick as they deflect 2 incoming attacks, 1 for each of them. And at this point, Seamus, since you're farther back from the main battlefield, you look up towards the dice, and you have covered considerable ground. You are within about 100 feet of the dais at this point. The Graveguard are still clustered around, not moving, although they have turned now to face the rest of you. Gaston is chanting, and it looks like he's beginning to come to a crescendo. And as he does, you see ghastly-looking spectral figures begin to rise around the altar. And as they do, the vampire lord sitting in the throne says something, and Michal Freeze turns, smiles with elongated veins, and then he looks over at you, Seamus, and you see shadows begin to cluster around his person. And then he's not present. He's gone from view. He just disappears instantly, as if by magic. And that's the end of the round. As it is now the creature's turns to try to kill all of you. So, let's see here. Let me roll my... Damn it, that's it? Bragdine, you see the creature that you've wounded heavily. You see the cut across its face, the rather deep cut through the helm. You see some of it begin to close, not much, as it looks like it is regenerating. And as it hisses out, it is going to try to take your head off now in its frenzy. I need you to defend yourself, Bragdine.
All right. That's not as good. That's 53 out of 97.
Okay. God damn it. All right. He lashes out towards you. He is in a frenzy. I can't believe I'm rolling this horribly against you. The vampire lashes out toward you, Bragdine. And though you are one-armed, you have one arm. That's it. I
got the blessing of the lady there, bro.
You do have the blessing of the lady, I might add. You back up, and it must be the blessing of the lady indeed. So you bring the pommel of your sword down on top of his head, racking the helmet. And as you do, he shakes for a moment, and he is stunned with my critical failure on his attack roll. Yeah. And so
praise the lady.
He's going to try to make his next attack, because he can. He just gets bad disadvantages here. So go ahead and defend yourself one more time, Bragdine.
Okay. I got a 32 out of 97.
Okay, he lashes out with his offhand, just a claw. He's going to rake across your body, and as he does, you easily bat it aside with your weapon. The metal plating on his claws just kind of slashing, make it sparking off of the blade, and it does not hit you.
Mediocre.
That brings me to Marius Wolf. You are engaged, since you choose to be engaged with one of these vampires. I need you to defend yourself.
Yep. All right. Uh, 42 out of 130.
Easily batters one of these attacks aside. One more attack, though.
Okay. That's a 90 out of 130.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Go ahead and roll me D100.
All right.
See where it hits.
30 double crit.
There's no double crit. Shut your mouth. Shut your
Okay.
filthy mouth. How much damage is it?
Well, it's actually probably not as much. That would be 4 level, 17 damage plus armor piercing.
Okay. Still a heavy blow as on the defense you bring the pick up and you spit his left arm as he overswings. As it comes through and you hear one of the bones kind of snap out of place as you pull the pick away, and some of the armor is shed off of his left arm at this point, but he is still very much standing. All right, and let's see what happens to Sir Tristan. Oh, are you kidding me? What is happening right now? Let me roll that. God damn it. Sir Tristan lashes the vampire. I should have. Apparently, I named him. The vampire lashes out towards him. He nimbly ducks underneath the blade and carves a massive wound across its right leg, piercing through the armor. An entire plate just peels off of its thigh. Yeah. And its second attack goes wide. God bless. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay, and unfortunately, that's the end of their turn thus far. Brings me to the top of the round with Bragadine Bonneau.
Did Seamus go?
No, he goes. I know we're out of order. He just reloaded.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It's getting.
But this is the creatures, so
Yeah, that was just the creatures going. Marius just kills all my creatures on his own turn, on their turn. So that happens often.
yeah. It's just top of the round.
So,
All right.
Bragadine, there is one of your men-at-arms. You don't know where he is. He flew off somewhere, thrown by this foul vampire who's still breathing heavily, engaged with you. Your second man-at-arms is by your side, but he looks a little shaken, but not stirred. Sorry, I couldn't help it. What would you like to do, Bragadine?
Oh,
Boo.
I am going to try to bash and bat this vampire out of my way so I can go and rescue Emma.
Okay, give me another attack roll.
5 out of 97. That's 9.
All right, Bragadine, how much damage? This will determine quite a bit.
I'm counting 9, 14, 18. 18.
18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18. 18
These are like Marius numbers almost.
You, enraged at what is happening before you, the vampire moves to swiftly cover ground between you and it. And as you do, you instinctively lash out with the blade, and you cleave clean through the throat, taking off its head in a single stroke, Bragadine, as the body stumbles past you a moment and then falls limply to the ground.
Yes.
Would you like to do anything else? Are you going to charge forward?
There's a man at arms right next to me.
He is next to you, yes.
Is he engaged with anything? He's
No,
not engaged with
there's
anything right now,
nothing
is he?
else engaged with you currently. All of you have been a whirling dervish of death thus far. So, yes.
You, come with me. We will finish this now. And we charge forward. Or I charge forward hoping he'll fall behind me.
Okay.
Again, I know it's not an action, but just, yeah.
Yes. All right. You do so. You begin to move forward, Bragadine. And as you move forward, Bragadine, you look up and you can see that the necromancer, Gaston, is coming to a crescendo with his chanting. And you see he produces a wickedly curved dagger from his person, seemingly out of thin air, and he has it dangled above your sister. You can see from this angle, Bragadine, that what she has clutched across her chest is the family shield, the heirloom left by your ancestors, and she appears to be breathing but unconscious, covered in the blood of dead men, and poised to join them shortly, should no one intervene soon. And that brings us to Marius Wolf.
That vampire's still alive, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm
He's
fine
still
with that.
alive. He's hurt badly, but he's
Okay.
alive.
Okay. I'm gonna. Is the one that Sir Tristan's fighting still alive too?
Yes, they are both still technically alive, but barely.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna attack him. 61 out of 130.
How much damage is it, Marius?
Let me think. 20 damage plus armor piercing.
Marius. Okay. You duck down low and bring the pick through the creature's chest, shattering the plate underneath, penetrating deep and probably pulverizing the thing's heart as you swing through and send it flying a full 10 feet, skidding in the dirt, and it is unmoving.
I'm getting up in the other vampire's face as well that's fighting Sir Tristan.
All right, you move into the space as with the second vampire knight, who's not looking good at this point, and of course, that's what happened. Sir Tristan, with a flourish of his blade, plunges it deep into the creature's chest as it caught off guard by you entering its space. And as he does, the creature's flesh begins to blacken, and it looks like char as he pulls his sword free, and it falls dead at his feet. There we go. They're all dead.
No,
Still
no,
alive.
we still got the big
a lot
guy.
of things left. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
brings
the
us.
big guy and the other big.
That brings us to Seamus McCready. What are you doing, Seamus?
So there's stuff happening on the dais with Gaston.
You do. You can see that Gaston is coming to a crescendo in his chanting. Go ahead and give me a perception test,
Shoot him.
Marius.
All right.
Shoot him.
Marius or Seamus?
Oh, Seamus. Excuse me. Sorry.
Okay.
That's a 12 out of 51.
Seamus, you glance over where you're looking up at the dais, and you see there's just nothing but blackness behind him. And you're the only one not engaged in a hardcore melee. You have a good vantage point, as it was, behind the front line of your men, your party. And you see something shift in the darkness. It looks like a gargantuan clawed appendage moves subtly. It's huge. You've never seen anything this big before. It's scaly. The scales appear to be black as pitch, which is why it blends in so well. And then you notice that there's some kind of huge iron shackle upon its wrist, and a huge demented chain tethering it backwards into the darkness. And then it shifts back, and you don't see it any longer. But you do hear Gaston chanting ever louder, and he has the dagger poised above young Emma.
I would like to shoot Gaston.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll. You're certainly within range.
Ooh, oh yeah, that's a 23 out of 82.
How much damage is that?
Let's see. I believe that is going to be a total of 17 plus 3, so 20.
Holy shit. You level the Thunderer, take aim at Gaston, and you let loose a shot. You shred through his left arm. It just boom, completely throws him backwards. His chanting slips. He does manage, however, to steady himself and not lose concentration. But he looks bad. He's bleeding profusely. His arm is limp at his side. The dagger's barely held in his right hand as he... and he's still chanting as much as he can. And the figure, the elder vampire sitting on the throne, has a face of extreme anger as he begins to rise. Then he looks out towards you and Seamus. What are you doing?
How close to the dais?
You are about, I'm going to say at this point, you are about 80 feet from the dais.
All right. So big vampire stands up. I'm thinking I'm going to shoulder the Thunderer and pull out 2 pistols if I can.
Okay. You shoulder the Thunderer. As you move to pull out the pistols, Seamus. This is how you use the sword, boy. and a sword pierces you through the back, and you feel the tip of it come through your chest, and you're looking at the raw blade of your own weapon. You take... you take 15 wounds.
Okay.
You can use your toughness bonus, but this bypasses your armor.
Mm-hmm.
But something happens to you, Seamus. Give me an endurance test, please.
Okay. Any negatives to this endurance?
No negatives. No negatives.
All right.
Roll that one, baby. Roll it.
That's 86 out of 67.
Okay, Seamus. Do you you never put your mask on?
Nope.
No,
Too
Seamus.
busy.
You, as the sword plunges through you, you feel something unnatural begin to take over you. As if anybody was watching, they would see Seamus's flesh all but almost dissolve away as his form shifts, ethereal, ghastly, wraith-like. An almost coat overcomes from the top of his head down across his shoulders, and his form has completely changed to a point that you can barely see the man beneath. It is but a skeleton. You lose all sense of self for a moment, Seamus. And as you do, you glance over. You regain 5 wounds, Seamus, of what you just lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give you a turn right now.
To do what?
To do whatever you want. As the vampire, Mihail Freeze, lets go of the sword in your back, dumbfounded, awestruck. It's impossible. So he takes a step back. What do you do, Seamus?
I would like to turn around. Just silently pull the pistol out and aim it at his face.
Okay,
and
Seamus,
pull the trigger.
something interesting happens. You grab a hold of the pistol.
Damn it!
Hold on. As you grab a hold of the pistol, the wood and the steel slowly begins to shift, ethereal in nature. The end of the barrel begins to burn. As you point the gun towards him, go ahead and make your shot. At point blank range, plus 20.
Oof. 19 out of 91.
Okay, how much damage is that, Seamus?
Let's see. Uh, 7 plus 9. Do some math here. 16.
16 wounds, holy shit. Let me do the math real quick. Okay. That's more than that. All right, you boom! An explosion from your ethereal pistol, ghost-like in nature. The round cleaves through his armor, piercing into the undead flesh. And as it happens, he flinches backwards. Ah! And it looks like his arm is on fire. And you regain a wound, Seamus, from a ranged attack.
Is he still standing?
He is still standing, yes.
He's
but
still alive?
Yeah, oh yes, he's very much still alive.
I would like to use my dual wielder if possible. If I can use that.
Yes, you can. What is
so
that?
that
What is
would-
what does the roll make that one?
It would be it's a -20 to the attack.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm close enough to him, so it should cancel that out. So it would be a 31 out of 71.
31 out of 71. Yeah, that definitely still hits. And a 31 is the other arm.
Would be
Yeah. How much damage is that?
9. Let's see, 9. 13.
Additional 13. God bless. Okay. As you draw the second pistol and then aim it at his other shoulder, boom! And he flinches back once again, piercing through the armor, stumbling backwards a few more steps, lighting his other arm on fire. You regain another wound.
Yes.
And he drops to a knee, but he is still alive.
All right.
And that's the end of your free turn, Seamus.
Mm-hmm.
I will remind you, your sword is still pierced through your back and sticking out of your chest. Just FYI. So
We'll deal with that later.
We'll deal with that later, apparently. Yeah, so that's going to bring us to the top of the round with Bragadine Bonneau.
All right. Am I within range to charge into Gaston?
He's on a dais above you. There are a contingent of undead skeletal sentinels between you and him.
How many?
At least 30.
Damn it!
Unless you can give me something
there-
creative. It's up to you, Bragadine.
What else is around me?
There's several stalagmites and stalactites coming from the ceiling and the floor. You have on the sides of the dais, on each side of the dais, it looks like a slope, a natural slope to the stone. Maybe it was carved at some point, who knows? Appears to be
Slope
the
up or
walkway.
slope down?
It slopes downwards.
Okay.
Towards the rest of the ground that you guys have been standing on. You see the endless black chasm behind the throned figure that is beginning to stand, to rise.
How far away is that?
You're closer, so you are within the 60 feet. Or no, you'd be within 40 feet at this point.
And there's a super vampire lowered right there. All right. Can I, with my free action, put my sword up and grab that mysterious wooden stake that has weird writing on it?
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah, sure. You grab a hold
And I'm
of it.
charging the head vampire.
All right. There's still a contingent of Graveguard between you and
there's still
him.
two. All right. How many? There's just one man at arms next to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Marius in relation to me?
Marius is off to your left and slightly ahead of you. It looks like him and Sir Tristan are about to meet the Graveguard.
All right. And if I don't fight anything this turn, I lose just 1 point of momentum.
1 point of momentum. Or if you make any kind of check, if you're successful in your attacks, don't have to be physical. You can make leadership tests. You can do anything. You get to keep your momentum if you're successful.
That's exactly what we're doing. All right, I will raise my sword high. In fact, hold on. Raise my sword. Men of Bretonia, we will go. We will stand with the Grail Knight himself, and we shall defeat these beasts and wretched monsters. And I will rush over there to basically to inspire the last man-at-arms and any Grail pilgrims who are still alive.
Okay.
To join with me and rush over to support Marius and basically form a line with Sir Tristan and Marius.
All right. Go ahead and give me a leadership roll.
Okay. I got 20
Out of?
out of 70.
All right. 5 levels of success. Definitely an inspiration to the men. Should anyone need to make a cool test, you will have certain advantages. And with 5 levels of success, let's just say something good might come of it.
Okay.
And yes, you do get to keep your momentum and then gain 1.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, I already have 6, but can I?
Okay. Well, if you're at
transfer-
6, then you're at 6.
Yeah. Could I Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We're cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can transfer 1 to anybody you want to, if you'd like.
And I will transfer 1 to. Is Marius at 6 too?
Pretty sure he's at 6 by now.
Okay.
Yeah, Marius is at 6.
I'll transfer 1 to the man-at-arms right next to me.
Okay, that's fair. All right, I will make a note of that. All right. And you begin to rush headlong. Marius Wolf, it is your turn. You see, you've reached almost a crescendo, a sea of Graveguard, these silent sentinels in darkened, archaic-looking plate armor, skeletals in nature with balefire glowing in their eyes. And they're all poised silently, looking outwards towards the incoming group, the masses, as it was. And you see Gaston very, very haphazardly clutching the dagger above the Lady Emma. What would you like to do, Marius?
How far are Sir Tristan and I away from the Graveguard?
You are eerily close. You're within 10 feet.
Oh, wow.
Which means
Okay,
you
so that's
are
super close.
Yes, you're close, and you're within about 30 feet of the necromancer and everybody up on the dais, in fact.
Do I hear what's happening behind me? I hear 2 gunshots, I assume.
You hear the gunshots, but unless you look, you wouldn't know.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't look. I don't hear or feel anything. Something's like lets off a fear aura. So
No,
I didn't know
you do not. Not from this range, you do not.
At this range. Okay. Do I have an angle of where I'm at right now to throw my axe at Gaston?
Oh yes. You could if you'd like. You can make me the throw.
I will try to throw it.
All right, give me a throwing attack roll.
All right. 37 out of 93 if I can use my momentum.
Oh, yes, you can, unfortunately. How would you like to do this, Marius?
Shit.
God damn it.
I guess just kind of after seeing Sir Tristan slay the vampire in front of me, just kind of like pull the axe from my strap and kind of give it kind of a little toss and just kind of look up and just overhand throw it as hard as I can, tomahawk style, end over end, aiming wherever I can, just try to hit him. You know, I don't know if I'm accurate enough to aim at certain body part, but just trying to hit him.
Ironically, you hit him square between the eyes, splitting his skull almost in two as he and his mouth barely utters any syllables as he begins to gurgle, and he falls backwards. And the ancient vampire sitting on his throne looks enraged. No! As he screams out a blood-curdling scream. And he steps down from his throne, looking down at you. Would you like to do anything else, Marius?
My free action, can I at least reach into my pack and get the jar that Mother Inga gave us?
I will allow it.
Okay. I don't know if I can apply it this turn or whatever.
Probably not, but you at least get your hands on it in the pouch. That's fine.
I'm just getting it ready.
Get it ready.
And then just kind of stealing myself before the numerous graveguard. Yep. And I'll probably that'll be my turn.
All right, that is the end of Marius Wolf's turn, as Gaston has fallen. As the necromancer falls, Marius, all of the graveguard begin to stumble onto their knees and then fall limp.
Oh, good.
All of them fall down, incapacitated. And that brings us to Seamus McCready.
Yes.
You are currently fighting a enraged vampire.
Will it use my action to pull the sword out if I can even reach it? Because I assume the pommel is behind my back.
It is behind you. I will allow you to attempt with a free action. Okay. It's going to be an athletics test.
All right. All right. Athletics isn't bad. I'll give it a shot. That's a 40 out of 47.
Okay, you do manage to grip a hold of it and slide it free of your back. It slides out between some ethereal-looking ribs, and you are holding it in your hand. Ironically, you still have flesh underneath, and you can't feel the pain in your leg anymore. You still have the wound, you just can't feel it anymore. As you pull the sword free, and I'm assuming you holstered one of your pistols to do so. The sword is now glowing with ethereal light, and there is a flicker of flame around the cutting edge.
I'm going to attempt to cut Mr. Freeze's head off since he dropped to his knees.
Okay, go ahead and make me an attack roll.
That is a 37 out of 60, or out of 70.
All right, 37. Were you doing a cold shot? Were you doing a headshot?
I'd prefer to, just because I want to.
Okay, so that's
have a cool cinematic moment.
Yeah,
here.
so that's a minus 20 to your roll. So just subtract 20 from that.
So then out of 50.
Out of 50. Okay. Ironically, that's still a hit. So how much damage is it though?
Not too much. It's going to be, where's my sword? 8 plus 37. 8 plus 1 success level, so 9.
9. You carve down Seamus, and you hit the helm of Sir Mihail Freeze, and as you do, your sword clinks off of the steel, does not penetrate into the flesh.
God damn it! Now I gotta shoot.
You still get momentum if you need momentum.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And is that the end of your turn?
That is, because I've used all my actions.
All right. At this point, Sir Mihail Freeze, let's see here. Yep, he regains a little bit. As you see some of the cuts you've inflicted on him begin to close themselves. As he stands up and he regains his composure, draws a long sword and a short sword from about his waist. And then screams out, arms wide, predator style. And he's going to try to kill you now. So I need you to defend yourself.
That's 69 out of 80.
Oh, crit!
It's not a crit.
Yeah. Sorry, bro.
How dare you? Sick
I mean,
bastard.
it's 69, bro. House rule it, bro.
It's not.
House rules.
It's not. Seamus, he lashes out towards you, cleaves into your right arm for 18 wounds.
God damn it! I knew I should have shot him. Fuck.
Hot damn.
Crap.
Are you still standing, Seamus?
18. Hold on, I gotta see what did it pierce in the armor?
It did not pierce your armor. So, well, I mean,
Okay, so 18.
thematically it did, but yeah, you can use your armor and your toughness for this.
So, yes, I am still standing.
Okay, as you grievously wound, throws you to the side. Ironically, you don't feel the pain. You just kind of notice that you've taken significant damage, and your body underneath is probably bleeding, but you don't feel any of it. And he's going to try to attack you again. So you need to defend yourself. One more time, Seamus.
Lost my momentum. Oh god, that's a 90 out of 60.
Seamus, you stagger aside, and then he brings the short sword up and attempts to skewer you through your brain pan. As he does so, you move back just slightly enough for him to only carve a rugged scar across what would be your face, but what is right now your skeleton. And I'm assuming that it does so much damage that you are going to go past 0 at this point.
Yes, you are correct.
Yeah. So let's see what the old critical wound is here. All right. All right. He carves across your left eye, Seamus. And you are actively bleeding underneath your ethereal form as he lashes outwards. You are blinded in your left eye, so you have a blinded condition that cannot be removed until you receive medical attention. You did not lose the eye, however, luckily. But as soon as you begin to bleed, your ethereal form begins to shift back into that of the man Seamus, and the meat sack falls limp onto the ground in the throes of death. As Sir Mihail Freeze looks down at the limp form of Seamus and gives a grin, and then begins charging towards the waiting forms of the Grail Pilgrims. Bragadine, you're the one furthest back. You glance over your shoulder just in time to see the elder vampire rip through, not even with a weapon. His hand fully comes through the back of one of the Grail Pilgrims and plunges out the front, and he's holding the man's heart in his hands. Rips it free of the corpse and takes a massive bite of it. Regaining significant wounds as you see his body begin to heal rapidly. And that's his turn. The elder vampire that is staring down Marius and now Sir Tristan looks down at you, then looks back. And it's at this point that Marius and Sir Tristan see that there's something chained in the darkness. Something gargantuan, huge in nature. It appears to be scaly and slick. You hear the rattling of metal. But you don't get a good view of what exactly it is. This will not happen again. I will have what I desire. And he snatches up the dagger that is laying at Gaston's feet and poises to slice Emma's throat.
No.
But that's all he can do so far. As Sir Tristan launches himself towards the elder vampire and manages to tackle him, actually. They fall back onto the throne, locked in some kind of strange tussle as they're both thrashing about. And that will bring me to Bragadine, but no, it is your turn.
All right, so Sir Tristan just... Are they on the ground, or are they, like, grappling?
They're, like, laying on the ground currently.
Okay.
Grappling each other, yes.
All right. And it sounds like this... Oh, where's Freeze?
You do not know. Well, yes, you do know, because you saw him spit one of your men, one of the Grail Pilgrims. He's within 10 feet of you, as he looks like he's going to begin slaughtering everyone here.
All right. How far is it to Sir Tristan and the senior vampire?
You are within 15 feet of them. You'd have to, with your movement, you can easily get up around the pedestal and make it up there. You could attempt to jump if you want to make it an athletics test.
No.
But otherwise, you're going to have to run around.
Okay. And what the older vampire was I able to see what kind of armor he was wearing?
It looked like his head was uncovered, but it looked archaic. You wouldn't recognize the craftsmanship, but it was like a deep blood red armor. And there was a large curved blade that was resting in his lap.
Mm-hmm. And he is the one that's by the altar with the
Yes. Emma. Yes.
I pull that stake out. That wooden stake. With the strange writing.
Yes.
And I kind of jink around and I charge him.
On the ground?
I charge over there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I charge over, lead down to try to attack him.
Okay. He's currently grappled with Sir Tristan. So if you fail this roll, you might stab the Grail Knight. So go ahead and make your attack roll. You do get a plus 10 since he's being grappled.
All right. Let me get my... This is it. Viewers, this is the big one. I rolled 11. Holy fucking shit, I rolled 11. I rolled 11. I rolled 11 out of 107. I rolled 11 out of 107.
Yeah.
Okay. God damn it.
This is what I needed. Oh, God.
All right. You
9 level success.
drive
Right.
the stake. You don't recognize any of the writing on it. It does have carvings into
Nope.
this wooden stake. And you wait for an opportunity as Sir Tristan moves, and Sir Tristan holds him. He looks up at you, his eyes, his glowing eyes locking with yours. Now, boy! And you use the moment to thrust downward, piercing through the back of this ancient creature as it and it begins to writhe on the ground, and within moments the skin begins to burn and it just goes limp over the Grail Knight's body. And that is your turn, Bragantine the Bold. God damn it. Wow. That brings me to Marius Wolf.
All right. So, do I see Michal Fries?
At this point, yes, you would have heard the scream of the Grail Pilgrim, who's very much dead. And you could have. It would depend on if you were too enthralled with what just happened to notice, but I would say yes, you probably could have noticed his presence at this point.
So do I turn around? Do I see Seamus at all?
You see Seamus about 20 paces or so back, just laying there, limp.
I'll take the is it a paste or dust? Is it paste?
It is a paste.
Okay. I'm going to take it and put my hand in it and go. I am going to say, Sigma, forgive me. I need Ulrich's help. Give me your wrath. And I paint it across my face.
Yes, you do. Go ahead and give me that cool check. It's a cool check.
Cool check? Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to reroll.
Oh, no.
Last reroll. How much there? 6 out of 65.
Okay. You feel a burning hatred begin to overwhelm you, and you manage to stifle it for now as you enact the foul paste that Mother Inga gave you, the war paint of Crom. Ulrich's blessing is definitely upon you. You're free to do as you will.
I'll just be charging towards Mr. Freeze, Michal Freeze, and
yes, Mr. Freeze.
Trying to, yes. Yeah.
Damn it! I knew it was coming.
Charge towards Mr. Freeze, and I'm gonna shout out, I thought you were mad about it! And then just try to attack him.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Okay. Do I still have my momentum from earlier?
Yes, you'd still have your momentum. That's fine.
Okay. That's a 58 out of 130.
How many levels of success? This is important.
That's 7, right?
7 levels of
Yeah,
success. Marius, you swing, and he nimbly moves to the side as you pierce into nothing. You thought he was there, and then he wasn't. And in that moment, you feel a pressure in your gut. And then you look down, and there's a sword up to the hilt in your abdomen.
Oh.
You take 22 wounds.
Woo! Hot damn. Can I shed some more armor?
It's not a critical hit.
Is it a crit?
It's not a
Oh, it's
critical
not a crit.
hit. No.
Okay.
So you can
It's just,
use your
okay.
armor and your toughness against it.
Okay. Let's see if I'm still standing. Give me 1 sec here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am. Not by much, but I am.
All right. You kind of pull yourself off of the sword, bleeding profusely, and you just lock eyes with him, and you see this burning hatred in the man as well. You do have a second attack, Marius.
Okay. Do I lose
If
one
you
point
want to
of
take
mental?
it.
Yeah, I know. Do I lose 1 point of momentum or all momentum?
You lose 1 point.
Okay. Well, I'm going to attack you. I rolled a 10 out of 120.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a D100. We'll see where this hits.
5.
All right. You lash out this time, enraged, already in a frenzy as it is, and you pierce through the helm, Marius, into the cheek. Pierces straight through, takes a chunk of his helm away. He's looking like he's lost most of his armor across his face now. And how much damage is that total?
Let me think. That's 24 damage.
Ooh, Jesus.
Plus armor piercing.
24?
Yeah.
My God. All right, that puts him at that. All right, he's still standing, Marius, as you and you pull it free. His jaw is like dislodged and off to the side, but he's still standing. Is that the end of your turn,
Hoping
Marius?
these great. Yeah, I'm hoping these girl programs start shanking him. You know.
Mm-hmm. Of course you do. Let's see. Yep. Okay. One of them does, in fact, rush forward, Marius, and tries to club him. And as he does, the vampire reaches out and grabs him by the throat and squeezes, and his head pops like a grape.
Yeah.
And he just falls limp dead. The remaining 3 pilgrims begin to back away in stark terror of what this creature is capable of. He licks the blood off of his fingers, and you see more of his flesh reknit, Marius. A significant amount of his flesh reknit at that. And that brings us to Seamus McCready. You need to roll me D100, Seamus. You can use a resolve point to remove a bleeding condition.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I will do that. The D100 is an 87.
You would have died if you would have had that extra bleeding condition. But you you did not. So you're good. You're good.
Right.
For now. Let me make sure. Nope, you have to be able to make a heal test, and since you're unconscious, you cannot. Okay. So, Seamus, you are bleeding out a good distance. Well, not too far away from everyone else. That brings us to Mihal Free's turn. He is going to attempt to kill Marius Wolf. So I need you to defend yourself, Marius. As you do see his flesh reknit even further than it was before.
Mm-hmm. I rolled a 15 out of 130.
Okay, you do manage to fend off the first strike.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll the second.
41 out of 130.
Okay, Marius. How many levels of success is that?
8.
That's not going to matter, Marius. You needed critical to avoid this. It's fine.
Oh, no.
I just wanted to do that to you. Sorry. Regardless, Marius, his jaw reknits mostly back together, and it's still distended, eerily wide, like a snake. And as you move in, he's going to latch onto your throat and begin to drain you like a juice box.
Oh, no.
It's a critical hit, so technically you could shed armor, but the damage is so significant that it's going to drop you below 0.
I'm down.
So let me roll a critical wound on Marius Wolf for the first time in a long time.
I didn't know that was possible.
I know. No, it's so rare. It's so rare. Let's see here. Minus 40. Damn it. I wish it was higher. Oh, it's nothing important. You just go unconscious because you were going unconscious anyway, Marius. Marius loses consciousness as he begins to bleed profusely from his neck. You have one bleeding condition, Marius. As the vampire. One bleeding condition.
One bleeding condition. Okay.
As the vampire drinks deeply from Marius Wolf and throws him aside as his body unceremoniously tumbles about 10 feet away. And he recovers significant wounds from that. He then slowly begins to walk up the pedestal towards the remaining individuals here. And that's the end of his turn. That brings me to Bragadine Bonneau, last man standing.
What about Sir Tristan?
Sir Tristan is standing as well. He's going to be going... Actually, you're right. It should be his turn now. Sir Tristan is going to charge the creature. And he lashes out, and he actually does hit. God damn it. God damn it. Okay.
Yeah, Sir Tristan.
He carves into the creature's left arm, and it hisses. And is going to... Let's see, he's going to attack again. This is fucking ridiculous. What are the chances of this? He attacks again, and as he does, he slices cleanly into the blood dragon's face, clefts the sword into it, lodges it in his face, and then pulls it free, dealing significant damage. But that's all he's capable of right now. The thing looks severely wounded as it kind of stumbles back towards the pedestal with the defenseless, incapacitated Emma. And it's your turn now, Bragadine. Bragadine.
That damn mute button. Sorry about that. So the ancient vampire appears to be
He appears to be at a minimum incapacitated because he is not moving.
Okay, he's got a nice stake just crammed into his back. What's moving towards the? Is it Freeze or is it? Other.
It is Mihail Freeze.
Okay, moving towards Emma.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's kind of stumbling backwards as he just got his ass kicked by a Grill Knight.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a tiny Bretonian's going to try and follow up on that attack and
let me see what this. I will also. I'm just going to throw this out there. I'll throw this out there. I usually don't throw this out there too very often. You can spend a resilience point to make any attack you want just hit no matter what. I'm just going to throw it out there. Throwing it out there. Letting you know.
All right.
Continue. make your decisions.
But I have like 6 momentum.
Do what you want. Do what you want. I'm just letting you know that if anything has taught you this, if you miss, he's going to stab you in retaliation. just so
That's
you know. So yeah.
If I use my resilience point for the attack, will I keep my momentum?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right, Bragadine. What's the maximum damage you're capable of?
With or without success levels?
You're with the success levels. What's your maximum damage?
Let me see. That's 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 5, 14, 18.
How would you like to do this, Bragadine?
Oh man!
Finish him.
For the honor of the Manos and every other Bretonian who gave their life today, I take your life in the name of the lady. And I try and put my sword up through his shoulder blades, up kind of through the spinal column, into his head.
All right.
Everybody's taller than me.
Yeah, you do so, Bragadine, as he's stumbling backwards, and before he can reach the pedestal with your sweet, innocent sister, you plunge the blade in deep, pierces through his flesh, and his eyes go wide. Impossible.
For Emma.
And he slides off of your blade, limp, Bragadine. And as he does, you hear a ridiculously loud roar come from behind you in the darkness. As you glance back over your shoulder, you see a flicker of fire. Embers of a kind, glowing. And a mouth all too wide, huge, gargantuan. Teeth the size of pikes. Eyes white and sightless. The scales blackened. The fire begins to twist and turn into a green, almost miasma mist inside the dragon's mouth. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Rise of the Forsaken.
Oh!
Oh boy.
That was it, boys.
Ooh.
That was it.
Out of the frying pan, you know.
Same.
Oh, shit. This is going to be fantastic, boys.
Wow.
Well, that was a long one, not going to lie. Favorite moments from the cast and crew. Let's start with one Marius Wolf.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I really liked the epic battle at the end. That was really cool. I think I liked the Vargol fight at the beginning though the most.
damn it. Of course you did.
I liked that it came out and just got fucked up real hard. It just like, oh, it's Vargol. It's just like, just dead. I like that part. It was really exciting.
Of course you did.
I also did like I like the writings, epic charge moments. So I enjoyed it.
Damn it! How about Mr. McCree?
Ooh, and sorry. And
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
Seamus is turn into Ghost Rider. It
Ghost
was
Rider.
pretty cool.
Ghost Rider Seamus. Hell yeah.
I enjoyed the extremely flammable Vargolf. I enjoyed it even more because that was, the fan vote. And
It was.
It got destroyed. Fans, you can't send just one beast at us. We
Ooh.
crush them.
True.
Don't say that.
Oh,
Don't
that's
say that,
not-
bro.
Oh, so dial it back.
It happened. It has happened. How about Bragadine Bano? How about old Pierce Galactic?
Oh man. When Bragadine Bano decided to just thrust his flaming torch into the monster, I thought that was awesome. Great way to lead with that. But yeah, I really liked how he kind of stood up and tried to keep the men at arms and the pilgrims in line, but just his savagery to try and save his sister. Single-minded. Oh, and killing the head vampire.
Is he dead though?
Yeah.
And we don't know. Incapacitating the head vampire
I will
and
say,
taking out
yes.
Michael Freeze.
You did.
Avenging my family, hopefully.
You did. I mean, it's. I will say it is nice that it's bittersweet that Bragadine got the finishing blow. We'll see. We'll see how this all goes. But man, I will say that fight was long. It was an epic battle for sure.
I think the
For
viewers
sure.
are gonna love that though.
Yeah, it was
That's-
impressive.
Yeah.
Highly impressive. I thought you'd have a lot more trouble than that. It turned into a whirling dervish of death very quickly. Yeah, it did. Mistakes were made. I have learned. Regardless.
I mean, two of us are down.
It's true. I will say, yeah, towards the end there, finally, it takes the big bad to come down and whoop some ass. Basically what it comes down to. If anybody's going to whoop some ass, it's him. So, but yeah, I definitely enjoyed, finally, I've been planning the Seamus ethereal person for like 40 sessions or something crazy like that.
Wow.
So finally got the reveal. Very excited about that. So, or however long, it's been a long time. So as soon as you got the sword, I've been kind of thinking about that. So regardless though, man, what an awesome end to that. As far as viewer decisions go, I need to know from all my viewers out there, how many remaining vampires are there in this barrow? Just let me know. How many are left? How many are still among the living? Well, unliving, as it was. Because of reasons. Regardless, though, thank you guys very much for watching. Do make sure to vote for the viewer decision, and of course, leave comments down in the comment section. We enjoy, we of course enjoy reading them, and we all try to respond when we can. And man, what an
I can't
awesome
wait to
shift,
read
you
the
guys.
comments for this one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a doozy for sure. So I'm definitely excited about it myself. As usual, guys, I've been Jumbo Thick. Thank you very much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode.